Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Vipul and we have a new car for you today. This is the Ertiga S-CNG. So the Ertiga was due for an update, especially for the CNG variant, and in this 2022 model there are some subtle differences in the car. There are some certain additions to the car that have been done. So we're going to cover all of that in this video and we're going to tell you all about this car. और अगर आप ये वीडियो हिंदी में देखना चाहते हैं तो ऊपर आई बटन पे या नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में आपको उसका लिंक मिल जाएगा और हिंदी चैनल पे आप यही वीडियो हिंदी में देख सकते हैं. So let's get started with the design. As you can see, this pretty much looks like the outgoing car and there are not a lot of differences. Now this is the ZXi variant. So the CNG is available in VXi and ZXi only. So this is the top of the line CNG variant. It misses out on quite a few features that you would get on the ZXi Plus model. So yes, it is sort of a compromise when you decide to buy this car. So up front you'll see that there is a new grille. So this grille has been redesigned. You get these different shaped slats right here. Suzuki branding right here in the middle. The headlamp cluster is pretty much the same. You get projector headlamps and these are not LED, these are halogen. Plus you get a fog lamp and a redesigned bumper which looks really nice. Coming to the side, on the ZXi variant you get 15-inch alloy wheels and I really like the design of these alloys. These are 185 by 65 section tires and offer decent amount of grip to the car. On the side you will notice that there is no body cladding, there are no other added elements as such. The ORVM has integrated turn indicators and you get chrome finished door handles. You have these crease lines right here which give the car some sort of character, which runs all the way to the back to the tail light. Also in the front tire you get disc brakes, while on the rear you will get the regular drum brakes. If you look at the rear, it's pretty similar to the its petrol or counterpart. You get this nice LED tail lamp along with turn indicators integrated and reversing lamp, of course. Rear wash and wipe and a defogger as well. Suzuki logo right here. You have a chrome strip that runs across the back and you get rear parking sensors. Since this is a ZXi, not the ZXi Plus, the rear camera is missing. Now since we are at the back, let's take a look at the boot. So as this is a CNG car, you have the CNG tank right here which eats up into the space of the boot, and even though there's a lot less space here, you can open up some space by dropping the third row down in case you don't have a lot of people traveling with you. But yes, if you are full house, you will have to lift these seats up. So this is a 7-seater, as you can see. 2 seats at the back. There are 3 passengers can sit in the center and 2 in the front, of course. So this is the 7-seater version, and seating 7 passengers is going to be fairly comfortable, but you won't be able to carry a lot of luggage with you. So that was the exterior of the Ertiga S-CNG. Now let's head inside and see what's different there. Now just to show you the key, this is a standard Maruti Suzuki key. You get the lock unlock button and the car has a request sensor right here. So you get keyless entry. You can just open the door and get into the car. So the doors open pretty wide, so ingress egress is not a problem. Now there's not a lot difference in here either. So the color of the upholstery has been changed a little bit. So if you look at the dashboard, scratchy plastic, but it's finished in gray now instead of beige. You get the beige piece right here, the bottom part. The steering wheel is also finished in gray, but this is soft to touch, but it's not leather, so it does not feel as premium as the XL6. You get some amount of steering mounted controls and your telephony controls as well. The instrument cluster is similar to the old car. Not a lot of difference. You have the tachometer right here, the speedometer right here, and an MID display in the center. However, you get this touchscreen infotainment system, which is not one of the most premium. Like the cars coming up nowadays have much more advanced touchscreen systems. So yeah. However, the switch gear here has been changed for the AC controls. So you get automatic climate control for the AC, and you get buttons here, and you don't get those old retro style switches. So that is an improvement. Coming back to the MID, this is where you will see the CNG. So there is a new meter to display, so that's new, and you can switch from petrol to CNG on the fly by just pressing this button right here. The car comes with a interesting feature where it can switch from CNG to petrol, petrol to CNG automatically. The car will start in the petrol mode, and then give it a couple of seconds, it will switch to CNG. Now if you're low on CNG, there's no CNG, it will switch back to petrol automatically. So that's very interesting. You don't have to push the button, but on the highway, if you want to switch between fuels, you can do that with a touch of this button. Also, this wooden finish right here, it looks really nice. It adds to the premiumness of the car. This is a different shade that you get right here. And the seats, they are not leather finished. These are fabric seats, and you get them in the shade of beige and gray to match the interiors of the car. No auto dimming IRVM, no illuminated vanity mirrors, no sunglass holder. So yeah, that's some of the features that are missing. See, this is not the top end, this is not the ZXi Plus, so it does miss out on some features. Now let's get back into the second row and show you how are things there. So this is the second row of the Ertiga CNG. Not a lot of difference. Pretty much everything is the same. You get AC vents right here and a charging power socket right here, magazine holders, and that's about it. But you also get an armrest to make your drive comfortable. Seating 3 will be fairly comfortable, especially if you're driving with 2 adults and a child in the center. You all will be the 3 passengers will be really comfortable. Seating 3 adults would be like, especially if they are my size, it will be a tight squeeze. Other than that, let's check out the third row. So getting into the third row, you just switch the seat. I'll just come around. So getting in is fairly easy. For a person of my size, this is not an ideal place to be in, but smaller people can fit here easily. There's not a lot of knee room. There is a good amount of room to put my feet under. So as you can see here, there's a good amount of room here, but there is very little knee room. So longer journeys are going to be really uncomfortable for someone of my size and my height. Smaller passengers definitely will be comfortable. You also get a power socket right here and cup holders for both passengers. So that's the third row of the Ertiga. So as you saw, there's not a lot of aesthetic changes, but what I'm interested to see is how the S-CNG drives, and let's go check that out now. So now we are driving the Ertiga S-CNG, and before I tell you how the performance is, let me give you the performance numbers. This is the 1.5 liter naturally aspirated petrol engine that in petrol mode puts out 74 PS of power and 132 Newton meters of torque, while in the CNG mode the power goes down to 64.6 PS and the torque goes down to 121 Newton meters. So yes, there is a difference of about fairly 10%, 10-15%. But when you're driving the car in the real world, and if you are in city traffic, in urban conditions, you are not going to feel the difference. The performance of this car in both CNG and petrol is pretty adequate for urban driving, and you will not feel a lot of difference while you are in either mode, so either the petrol or CNG. You will feel the difference only when you are pulling the car. So when you want to make a hard overtake, or you're on the highway and you want to speed up, that's when you will feel that the CNG lacks a bit of power over the petrol engine. Otherwise, if you are buying this car for regular city drives, your office commutes, which are going to be in city traffic, so in city conditions, the difference is hardly noticeable, and you will not, feel that you are driving a car with two different fuel options. Yes, on the highways, the car feels a little underpowered when you're in the CNG mode, and to make those quick overtakes, you might have to switch to the petrol mode, and you can do that with a flip of a button. So you just click this button and you can on the fly switch from petrol to CNG and CNG to petrol. So that is pretty easy to do. So even on the highways, your experience is not marred by the CNG. Now also, when another thing that we notice when you're climbing a flyover, or you're climbing a bridge, or if you're going to be driving in the ghats, it does put a lot of stress on the engine when in CNG mode. The pulling power is not there. So while on inclines, especially in a loaded car, so if you're traveling with your entire family and some luggage, you definitely would want to switch to petrol while you're on an incline moving uphill. So that's one thing that you should note. In terms of handling, well, it is a longish car. It is a little tall, so yes, there is a bit of body roll. The steering wheel is not very connected, so it's pretty light, and while it helps in the city, it's not very connected when you're driving on the highways. So if you're someone who loves driving and really enjoy driving, you might not enjoy the feel from the steering wheel while you're on the highway. So that is a typical characteristic of the Ertiga, so there's nothing different here. The S-CNG comes with some added safety and a better mileage for sure. So you can be rest assured, the tank is protected for leaks. The nozzle, it has a reverse fuel protector, so as in if the CNG is high, you're filling in high pressure CNG, it does not come back up. So that protects the overall CNG tank. Also, the car starts in petrol mode only, so that takes care of the wear and tear of the engine, especially in cold starts. And speaking about mileage, now if you want to talk about pure petrol mileage, you should get anywhere between 12 to 13 kilometers to the liter in city driving conditions. On the highway, you might get about 15 to 16, but in CNG mode, the claimed fuel economy is 26 kilometers to a kg of CNG, but in real world you should get anywhere around 19 to 20 kilometers per kg. So if you look at the per kilometer cost, considering the cost of CNG, it is pretty lower as compared to petrol. Speaking about the driving comfort, and the seats, they are not of the best quality, but they are nice and wide, and you are seated pretty comfortably. Other than that, everything falls to hand very easily. The touchscreen infotainment, the aircon controls. One thing I would like to mention definitely is these cup holders. They have air vents here, so if you are carrying any cold beverages, you can keep them here and they will remain cool for a longer period of time thanks to this vents here. So overall, it is a pretty decent cabin experience. There are areas of improvement, obviously, but you do get a lot of your money's worth with this car. Now, priced at 11.5 lakhs ex showroom, the Ertiga S-CNG does not really have a lot of competition, but in my opinion, Suzuki has been a little skimpy on the features and accessories that they offer. Now, this is the only option, this is the only top of the line option that is available for the S-CNG. It misses out on a reversing camera. The touchscreen infotainment system is very basic. It's not high on features like the competition has, and Besides that, the touch and feel of the interior, it could have been a bit better, because this is the top of the line for the CNG. So maybe Suzuki could have offered this car in a ZXi Plus variant, because when someone goes to buy a car, they do want all the bells and whistles to go along with it. Obviously, you can get all of that and at an extra cost as an accessory package, but it would have been nice to have the ZXi Plus variant as well. In terms of direct competition, this car does not have a direct competition wherein the CNG fuel is concerned, but yes, the car can go toe to toe against the Kia Carens in terms of pure petrol. And the Carens is pretty much feature rich, and you can check out our review of the Carens in the I button. So that was the Ertiga S-CNG for you. Let us know, what do you think about this car, and do you think the price is justified? Do you think more Suzuki should have given a lot more features in this car? Do let us know in the comments. Subscribe to Motoroids if you haven't already, and press that bell icon so that you get notified whenever we upload our next video. This is Vipul signing off. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.